we've got 20 years to fix this problem at the max. If it's going at the same rate that it's going now. If it increases, that time is lessened. That grocery trip that used to run $100, we're talking about losing $300 to $1,200 in actual buying power over the last few years. It's not just you, it's not just inflation, it's partly because when the government keeps borrowing money, it drives up prices for everything. So this directly affects us today, not just in 20 years. Why? Because when the government continues to borrow money and that debt ceiling keeps rising, it directly affects inflation, how much you're paying, prices on everything. The wages are not rising to match. And then also, guess what? Those looking to buy a house will also face higher mortgage rates as well. So what are our options to fix it? Well, there's two that I don't like, and there's one that I like, okay? The first one I don't like is you got to pump more money into the system, which is what we keep doing, and it inflates the prices. Inflation skyrockets, everybody loses. And that's what the Democrats want to do. That's what Harris wanted to do to fix this. That's what Biden was doing to fix this. That's their plan, and it sucks. It doesn't fix anything, really. It just makes the numbers look better. Like, oh, look, we lowered the debt, but we also hurt everybody's financial situation, everything across the board. Your ability to pay for food, your ability to afford rent, it's all affected. So that's a bad option, right? Here's another option. Increase taxes like crazy to cover the deficit. Nobody wants to do that. That's another bad option. Here's the third option. Why is Elon Musk so mad? He's mad because the Democrats don't want to fix it. 44% care about this issue only. The Republicans, 71%, say they care about the issue, but now we're seeing that they've tweaked and they've changed this bill until it doesn't look anything like it looked at the beginning. And instead of lowering the deficit, it's raising the deficit again. And he believed in this party's ability to fix the national debt. That's the problem. Well, that's one of the reasons I think he jumped aboard the Trump train and Trump's campaign 2024. And listen, I'm not a big, huge Elon Musk fan. I don't like a lot of the stuff he does, but he's right about this. He saw a big looming problem and he said, we've got to fix this. And he's like, okay, maybe this party can do it. What's the fix? Let's look back at World War II, because I believe there's a silver lining. I believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but I've gone through the bad news today, and I'm about to go through the good news, and then I'm gonna share with you the hard news, because that's where we're at. That's what it's going to take to fix this. We were at the highest debt level since we were at World War II. Why was the debt level so high during World War II? Well, it's because of the military spending like crazy to fund the military. But what fixed it after that? How did we lower it? Because that is the historical pattern. Everyone's like, well, it's just going to keep going up. It always goes up. It didn't go up after that. Why? We came back down. How did we start to fix the problem after World War II? Here's the answer. An economic boom. That was the fix. The economy boomed, more high-paying jobs, more booming businesses, more people making more money, and they were able to actually pay more taxes on top of that money to the government and the raised revenue. And we lowered the debt. We got out of a debt bubble because of an economic boom. So here's what I believe needs to happen. People in leadership in this nation need to get more radical about simple ideas that don't just cut the spending. Yes, that needs to happen. We need to cut spending. We need to do as much as we can possibly do in that sector. We need to cut the fraud. We need to cut the waste. We need to find all the stuff that needs to go, and we need to cut it while still taking care of people. Okay, we can do that. We can all agree on that. Take care of the people that need to be taken care of, the ones that can't help themselves, but also kick out the fraudsters, the ones that don't need to be taking advantage of the system. That's half the solution. But the major solution is, as leaders of this nation, they need to get radical about simple ideas that are going to cause our economy to start booming again. What does that look like? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like being American again. Being American. There's this old movie called The Happiest Millionaire. And in that film, there's a young man that doesn't want to go into the family business. Why? Because he dreams about getting into the automobile industry, and he sings a song all about this land where golden chariots are molded out of dreams. So he's this young man who wants to go and make a name for himself. How? By creating this business around a passion where he can actually change the world. And what is it molded out of? It's molded out of a dream. And this is the fix. And this is where you and I come in. And this is it's a small part of the puzzle, but guess what? It's the main part of the puzzle, because it's a lot of different puzzle pieces put together to make a beautiful picture of the American dream working again. The American dream was never, ever, ever something that was handed to us like the Democrats want us to believe, like the left or the socialists want us to believe. The American dream took hard work, and it always will. A booming economy is not a magic wand formula. A booming economy is the people of the United States of America changing our perspective again and going, we could do this. We could build something that lasts. We could build something that affects the next generation. We could put together something that doesn't just make money, but is sustainable, helps people, cares about its employees, cares about the people in this nation, cares about the workers, cares about the community that it's based in. Guess what? Those are the kind of companies that last. Those are the kind of companies that grow. Those are the kind of companies that boom. Why? Hey, they've also got to have a good idea, right? They've also got to be able to sell a product. You have to have the full picture. But that's the American dream. You have an actual dream. You have a vision. You have a passion. You have a desire, and then you put it to work, and it takes hard effort, but you do it together with like-minded people. And listen, when we as a nation and as a culture go, I'm not just here to survive anymore, but hey, there's an opportunity waiting right outside my door, and I'm not going to keep kicking the can down the road. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it. Guess what? When this culture and this society decides to do that, there is going to be an economic boom. And I believe that's the fix we need. So y'all let me know what you think. I'm describing us doing capitalism right. That's what I'm describing. Maybe I'm just rambling, Maybe this is just a Disney ending sort of dream that I'm just describing, right? But guess what? Even Disney doesn't talk about the hard work involved. It's always a magic wand formula. That's what we've been sold. That's what the politicians are trying to sell us. Well, we're just going to print more money. We're just going to do this. We're going to do that. But it's really not up to what they're saying. It's not up to a magic formula. It's up to us as the American people. And maybe you have an idea that's better than a pet rock, hopefully, right? But that's such a great point, is we live in a land of opportunity, and the only time that land of opportunity dies off is when we stop believing it.